Alrighty, everyone. In this video, I'm going to be going over the resilient trader and how you can develop and become a resilient trader yourself. So first, who is a resilient trader? Okay, so a resilient trader is going to be an individual who can endure the mental ups and downs of trading, the emotional roller coasters that we can go on sometimes. And you are going to be able to do this while seeing long-term growth in your trading account or in your portfolio. Okay, so qualities of a resilient trader. Okay, you're going to be continuously able to manage stress and your emotions while at the same time avoiding going on tilt. So normally, when you become stressed out or if you're very emotional, that is the first step to going down the path of trading on tilt. So when you're able to manage your stress, keep in mind trading is an extremely stressful environment. It's trading as a career is definitely one of the most stressful jobs or hobbies that you can go through, especially when you're talking about managing large capital. Okay, so large capital that can mean a lot. That can vary obviously person to person. $500 is going to be a lot of capital to one person, whereas that will be pennies to another individual who trades with $50,000 on the day continuously. Okay, so when you're managing large amounts of capital, you can feel the stress of that. Okay, I mean you're talking about money that you value. Okay, qualities of a resilient trader are going to be able to manage that stress. They're going to be able to put it on the back burner. They're going to be able to block out the noise surrounding, they're going to be able to block out the noise that comes with stress, and they're not going to become emotional at the same time. Okay, so they're not going to let a losing trade upset them. Okay, they're not going to get angry that they missed out on an opportunity. They're not going to be fearful of placing a trade when the opportunity presents itself, and they're not going to let greed impact their decisions. Okay, they're going to understand that, hey, the market or ticker XYZ is coming into a resistance level. Now is the time to lock in profits and to raise stops. They're not going to let greed dictate their objective analysis. Okay, so another quality of a resilient trader is you're able to adapt with the markets. Okay, if your edge is not present at the moment, you know not to place a trade. Okay, if you do not have an edge in the markets, you know that there is no reason to put risk on the table. Okay, adapting with the markets also means that you accept when you are wrong. Okay, there's always going to be a loss, or there's always going to be the possibility of a loss occurring when you place a trade. Okay, when you are able to accept that, and you can accept the fact that, hey, I'm going to be wrong on my thesis for this trade. That's your ability to adapt and overcome, and that is a huge quality of being a resilient trader. Okay, if you can accept the fact that you are wrong, you are easily better than 50% of the people who trade out there today. Okay, I mean, the ability to, or the inability, I should say, for people to not accept that they were wrong and to accept the fact that or to accept the loss on a losing trade, is really crippling to a lot of people. And if you're able to do that and you're able to adapt with the market through that you were wrong, that you got the trend wrong, you were short when the trend day is clearly long or whatever, that is your ability to adapt, and that is going to build resilience. Okay, does that mean it's the end of the world if you were wrong? No, obviously not. But when you can accept the fact that you were wrong and then you adapt with the changing market conditions, then you can put yourself in favor and trade with the trend. That is how you develop resiliency, and that is going to make sure that you live to trade another day, so to speak. Okay, last but not least, resilient traders are going to be rigid in their rules and disciplined in their execution. Okay, you are going to have extremely hard rules in place that you abide by, and you are never going to break them. Okay, and I'm kind of leading into developing a resilience here a little bit, but to finish this part off real quick of qualities of a resilient trader, you're also going to be disciplined in your execution. Okay, when the market gives you an opportunity and your alerts go off, you press the buy or sell button immediately without thinking twice. Okay, you've already done the work, you've already planned the trade out. Now's not the time to second guess yourself, right? At the same time, you already know where your stop loss is going into the trade. When your stop loss is hit, especially if it's a mental stop loss, if you're trading options, like say 25% stop loss, Once it's hit, boom, you're done. You're out of the trade. You eat the loss and you move on. Okay, that is what resilient traders do because they know they are preserving their capital when they take a loss. Okay, they do not let a small loss become a big loss. Okay, undisciplined traders or people who are not resilient in their trading, they're going to let the trade move past their stop loss and they're not going to exit the trade when their stop loss is hit. Okay, and that is how small losses turn into big losses and you start to see the snowball effect. Okay, so developing resilience. All right, having clear, concise rules that you abide by. Okay, for example, if you are a day trader but you know that scalping is not where your edge is, you don't trade the first 30 minutes of the day. Okay, that is an example of a clear and concise rule. You do not trade the first 30 minutes of the day. Okay, if you're able to see through your data and through your journals that you have a low success rate trading the first 30 minutes of the day, that's an easy rule for you to abide by. Okay, as another example, for a swing trader, one of your rules is do not watch any time frame lower than the 4-hour time frame, for example, okay? Because the smaller the time frame, the more noise there is. Okay, the more noise, the more you can start to second guess yourself. Okay, the dominant higher time frames are a swing trader's best friend. If you're a swing trader and you struggle with leaving positions early because you get too emotional and you let the smaller time frames dictate your analysis and you start to enter tilt that way, easy rule to have in place is you don't watch lower time frames. Especially you just see where the daily close is. You see where the daily open and where the daily close is, and you manage your trades accordingly between your profit-taking levels and your stop loss. Okay? Developing resilience means you trade with a proven, and here's the key word, back-tested system. Okay? No system is perfect. No system, no strategy that you trade with or that is even out there in the markets today, and there's thousands of them, none of them are going to be foolproof. You will experience losses no matter the way you trade. Okay, you can experience a loss 70% of the time, but because of how you manage your trades, and if you if you abide by your stop loss rules every single time, those 30% of the trades that you take that are winners can easily outpace your your losers by a 5-1 margin potentially. Okay, it's all about how you trade, and it's about following your rules in place. That's how you can build resilience as a trader. Okay, when you enter a trade knowing that you are entering this trade with a proven, back-tested system, that you have made money with the way that you trade before, that's a huge bonus. Okay, if you're trading with a new strategy or a new system, and especially if you're a newer trader, like less than a year or two of experience, back-test your system, back-test the way that you trade. Go back 3 to 5 years ago and see your system in action 3 to 5 years ago. Don't back test it from the last month or the past year. Go back in time 3 to 5 years ago and back test your system, like using TradingView replay mode, for example, and see how it works. Okay, that is a really good way to build confidence in yourself and in the way that you trade, so that way when the time comes to press the buy or sell button to enter a trade, you don't think twice. Okay? Another aspect of developing resilience, accept losses are inevitable. Okay, enter a trade, and I've said this before, enter a trade when you know the worst case scenario. Okay, for example, with a limit order, if you're trading ES, okay, the worst case scenario, a 3-point loss. Okay, when you press the buy button to go long, you know going into that trade, the worst case scenario is you lose 3 points on the trade and you have a potentially like $150 loss on one lot. Okay, or for my options traders, you go into a trade knowing I'm taking no more than 15% loss on here. Once your 15% loss is hit, that's when you exit the trade. You enter a trade knowing the worst case scenario, and you also know that losses are inevitable. Okay, when you firmly believe that losses are inevitable, and you never tell yourself that this trade is going to be a winner or this trade is going to be a loser. Instead, you enter it with no expectations, but you accept the fact that a loss is possible, and at the same time, in the back of your head, know that they are inevitable. That is how you build resilience. Okay, one trade, whether it's a win or a loss, does not dictate what's going to happen on the next trade. Okay, resilient traders know that, and they believe that with every fiber of their being. Okay, last but not least, for developing resilience, it is okay to be wrong. It is never okay to stay wrong. Okay, winning traders, they do not focus on their losses and they do not focus on their mistakes. They know it's okay to be wrong. You are human. No one is going to be perfect 100% of the time. Winning, resilient traders do not dwell on their mistakes and losses. They have the next opportunity mindset. And to quote Mark Douglas here, an endless flow of opportunity, they have ingrained that into their identity as a trader. Okay, they understand it is never okay to stay wrong. Okay, losing traders, like 95% of day traders out there or more, it definitely could be up to 99%. They understand, or the 95 to 99% of traders who consistently fail and they consistently lose money in the markets, they can't accept the fact it's okay to be wrong. So instead, they stay wrong. They keep moving their stop losses. They keep fighting the trend. Okay, they enter tilt. They trade with emotions. All this sort of stuff. Okay, resilient traders know it's okay to be wrong. You have accepted the fact that you are human and that today just maybe wasn't your day as a trader, and you shut everything down and you come back the next day for new opportunities the market's going to offer you. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my new YouTube channel. If you have any questions for anything that I went over, leave them in the comments below. I make sure to answer all of them. And have a great day.